This case occurred in Russia in 1991, in the Rostov region. The pilot of military aircraft met in the process of flying with a UFO and crashed. The official authorities did not believe this and opened a criminal case. After all, the commission found that these were unintentional actions of Churbakov to simulate a generator failure, trigger a fire alarm, and a false report to the flight director about the occurrence of an emergency situation, followed by turning off the serviceable engine and ejecting. But only the court completely acquitted the pilot. So, what was really going on there? Today you will learn about everything. A video with the original English speech, so do not switch.
Altitude of 3,900 meters. Then suddenly, I saw a ball in front of me, about 20 degrees to the right.
He watched the object for several seconds. Then, as it came toward him, Churbakov tried to radio the base. The light from the UFO was blinding.
A sense of unexplainable fear came over me. On the back of my head, I began experiencing warmth. I felt as if someone was present and watching me. My movements were under control, controlled by someone other than me.
Churbakov claims the reddish-yellow object started maneuvering around the aircraft. For several minutes, it kept up with the jet's airspeed and mimicked its movements. During that time, Churbakov was unable to communicate with his base commander. The radio emitted only a squealing sound.
Pilot Churbakov's description of the UFO moving relative to his own airplane is really quite common.
Dr. Richard Haynes has documented over 3,000 pilot sightings of UFOs.
I have thousands and thousands of cases of pilots in daylight encounters with structured objects, in the sense of having three-dimensional mass, in the sense of having aerodynamic kinds of flight behavior relative to the aircraft. And so what he describes here fits in very nicely to what I have from hundreds of other pilots around the world.
Suddenly, in rapid-fire succession, the generator in Churbakov's jet failed. The instruments indicated a fire on board, and the cockpit filled with smoke. The base commander ordered Churbakov to eject.
I began arguing with the commander because the plane was still above the residential area. My altitude began to drop rapidly. I had to pull the plane out of a nosedive. At the altitude of 1,000 meters, I finally cleared the residential area and I ejected. 4 seconds later, the plane exploded.
Churbakov landed safely in a field and was rescued an hour later by a military helicopter. While officials combed the wreckage of the jet, Churbakov was examined at a military hospital. An intensive 3-day interrogation followed.